Don't forget to subscribe and press the bell icon to never miss a video from testbook.com.
Hello friends, a very good evening to all of you. So guys, we have gone through continuity equation and yesterday we discussed the question of streamline, streak line and path lines. So in this short video, let us quickly discuss the question of stream function also. So like yesterday's video, this video is also a recorded one, but from tomorrow onwards, I will be back live. Okay, so it's like I did not want to break your continuity, so I thought even if I'm not available, I should at least give you some recordings. So yesterday's video, today's video, I mean this one, both of them I recorded on day before yesterday. So when we discussed continuity equation, okay. Anyways, I think without wasting any time, let us quickly go through the questions. So check what it says. It says a flow field is expressed as, so flow field, so basically the space where the fluid is moving, and we are calling it as field because we are going to use Eulerian approach. Every term will be expressed as function of position and time. So that flow field is expressed as u equal to ax plus b and small v equal to minus ay plus cx. So obviously u and v, they are the velocity components, right? So velocity vector is given as u, that is ax plus b I cap, plus v, that is minus ay plus cx, so v j cap, and there is no w over here. So basically this is a planar flow and there is no third velocity component. And also it says a, b and c are constants and their values are also given to us, right? So a, b, c are constants. Now they are asking you generate the expression for the stream function. So first part of question is generate the expression for stream function, and the second part of question is predict the discharge per unit flow width between the two streamlines passing through 1, 1 and 1, 4. Okay, so let us focus on the first question. So guys, I hope you remember what is a stream function. So in simple terms, stream function, that is psi, is some sort of scalar function and it is a function of position, coordinates and time. Obviously we are going to talk about Eulerian approach, and it is defined in such a manner that if we take partial derivative of stream function with respect to x, we get a negative y component of velocity. We get the expression of negative y component of velocity. And if you take the partial derivative of the same scalar function with respect to y, you get positive of x component of velocity, right? This is how you define it. But if a flow can be defined by a stream function, then it is mandatory that the flow has to be incompressible. A flow can be defined by stream function only if the flow is incompressible. And I think I have proved this using a very basic identity of mathematics of derivatives. So what we say if there is a function which can be defined, then we have del square f by del x del y is equal to del square f by del y del x. If a function can be defined, then this has to be true. So if this is the mathematical function of psi, then mathematical function of psi will prove this identity, will follow this identity only if the flow is incompressible. So this is from where we get this idea that the stream function is defined only for incompressible flow, right? So if we have v component of velocity or u component of velocity, then using these expressions, we can predict the stream function. So let us do it. So what we have small v equal to minus ay plus cx. So let me use the first expression. First expression says if I do a partial derivative of stream function with respect to x. Now please note, when you are doing partial derivative with respect to x, y was treated as constant. During this differentiation, y was a constant term. You will get negative of y component of velocity. So you will get negative of minus ay plus cx, right? This is what you are going to get. So you will get ay minus cx. So if I partially differentiate psi with respect to x, I will get ay minus cx. And during this differentiation, y was treated as constant. Now let me do one thing. So let me reverse the partial differentiation. Let me integrate the partial differentiation. So if during the differentiation y was treated as constant, let me consider y as constant during the integration as well. So del psi by del x, if I will integrate it, I will have psi. So what we are going to get? We will get psi is equal to integral of del psi by del x treating y as a constant. Therefore, this will be equal to integral of ay minus cx treating y as a constant. So we will get psi, and obviously this is an implicit integration because we are not applying any limits. So once we will integrate, you will have constant of integration. But I have explained this many times, since we are doing a partial integration with respect to x, treating y terms as constant. So instead of getting pure constant of integration, you will get a pure function of y. है ना? I hope you remember this. If there is a doubt in this thing, please do let me know in the comment box. I will definitely reply to you. ठीक है? हमने कई बार देखा है ये कि भैया जब हम partial differentiation करते हैं with respect to x, तो y की सारी terms constant होती हैं. तो अगर ये term constant है, ये तो addition में है term, so during differentiation it will become 0. But once we will go back, we will integrate again. This thing will again come into picture, है ना? So what we will have? We will have psi is equal to integral treating y as constant. So ay dx, integral will become ay x minus cx dx, integral will become minus cx square by 2, and there will be a pure function of y, right? Which we do not know. We know the value of a, which is 0.5. So let me put here psi equal to 0.5. Yx means xy minus c. Let me check the value of c. I think it was 0.35. So value of c is 0.35 per second. So this value will become c by 2. So 0.35 by 2, that is 0.175 x square plus a pure function of y. So this is what we are getting from the definition that partial derivative of psi with respect to x is negative of y component of velocity. But in this equation, we do not know what is this pure function of y. So let me go to the second equation. What is the second equation? Second equation says if you take partial derivative of psi with respect to y, you will get positive x component of velocity, and x component of velocity is u, that is ax plus by. Let me check if it is ax plus by only. Yes, sorry, it is not ax plus by, it is only ax plus b. It is only ax plus b. Ax plus b, right? Now check. When we have done this differentiation with respect to y, x was treated as constant. So what I will do? I will do the reverse. That is, I will integrate to get psi. But since during differentiation, x was treated as constant, therefore during the integration also, x will be treated as constant. So what we will have? We will have integral of ax plus b dy, treating x as constant. Now again, during integration, we have constant of integration. But since it is a partial integration, treating x as constant, so you will get a function of integration. What you will get? You will get function of integration. So I think psi is going to be axy, because ax is a constant, plus by plus pure function of x. Now what is the value of a? It is 0.5. So this will become 0.5 xy. And what is the value of y? It is 1.5. And then there is a pure function of x. But again, I do not know what is this pure function of x. Now this was our equation 1. This was our equation 2. So basically from two equations we have found out two expressions of psi, and definitely these two psi must be same. For a given flow field there can be only one stream function. So both of the psi must be same. So let me write the other stream function here only. So what was the other stream function? It was 0.5 xy. And I think there was minus 0.175 x square plus pure function of y, right? Now check for yourself. Compare the two equations. This term is common. This and this, they are same because 1.5y is a pure function of y, and this are same because minus 0.175 x square, that is a pure function of x. So your final expression for psi is, final answer for psi is 0.5 xy plus 1.5y minus 0.175 x square, and obviously you can put a constant also, numerical constant also. This is the final expression of psi. Final expression of psi. And this constant you can predict if some sort of boundary condition is given to you. Like it is said that the value of psi at 1, 1 is 10. Then you can predict this numerical constant also, right? So this is how you find out stream function. So whenever velocity components are given to you, you partially integrate the velocity components. You will get two expressions of stream functions. Those two expressions must be same. So you will get these unknown functions of integration, right? Now let us check the next part. So I think the next part, that is based on a property of the stream function that we discussed. Sorry. So next part is based on property of a stream function. So I hope you remember. So I proved this in many classes. I have proved this. I have proved. In fact, you guys also helped me out in this proof. You prove that if we consider a streamline, then the value of stream function on all these points is equal. So let us suppose this is 1, 4 and this is point B. Here the value of stream function is psi b. Then on all these points of streamline, the value of stream function will be psi b. Similarly, this is point 1, 1. Let me call it as psi a. So let me call it as point A. So at this point there will be a stream function value psi a. So if we consider a cross section, between the two streamlines, so obviously this is the width of the cross section perpendicular to the plane of paper. That is the z direction, right? So what you will say? You will say the discharge through the cross section per unit width along the z direction, that is nothing but psi b minus psi a. है ना? I hope you remember this. Psi b is the stream function value at point B and psi a is the stream function value at point 1. है ना? So I think this is what is asked in the question. Discharge per unit width of the flow section. So width means z direction. So I think what we need to find out what is the value of psi at 1, 1, that is psi a. So psi a is nothing but value of psi at 1, 1 point. So what we will do? We will use the expression of psi. So expression of psi is 0.5 xy, x is equal to 1, y is equal to 1, minus 0.175 x square, that is 1 square, plus I think 1.5y, that is 1, है ना? And there can be a constant of integration also. So let me check if I have used the correct terms. Yes, I have used the correct terms. So I think this will become 0.5 into 1 plus 1.5 So 0.5 plus 1.5, that is 2. And 2 minus 0.175, I think this will become 1.825 plus constant of integration. So this is the value of psi at A. Please don't worry about this constant of integration. You know why? Because when I will calculate the psi for B, then also we will get the same constant of integration. And in discharge, we have to do psi B minus psi A. So C and C will cancel out, right? Similarly, let us predict the value of psi B. So value of psi B means psi at 1, 4. So this will become 1.5xy, that is 1 into 4, minus 0.175x square, that is 1 square, plus 1.5y, that is 4, plus constant of integration. Now I think this will become 1.5 into 4, that is 6. 6 plus 2, that is 8. And this will become, let me confirm, Hana? So this is 1.5 into 4, that is 6 only. 0.5 into 4, that is 2 only. So 8 minus 0.175. So I think this will become 7.825 units. This is what I am getting. 7.825 units plus constant of integration. So I hope this is not hiding behind me. No, this is not hiding behind me. So there will be a constant of integration. Now let us substitute these values here. So when I substitute these values here, I will have 7.825 plus constant of integration minus 1.825 plus constant of integration. So 0.825, it will cancel out only, and 7 minus 1 is 6. C and C will also cancel out. So this is 6 units. 6 units. Or we can say meter cube per second per meter. So this is the answer of discharge per unit width, right? So these kind of questions are very common in GATE exam, both in civil and mechanical. And in fact, not only in GATE, but ISRO, DRDO, BARC, IES also. So very simple question, very simple method. And I hope everyone remembers this method. If definitely there is a doubt, you guys can ask me anytime, right? Okay, so let's move on to the next question. Let's move on to the next question. Just a minute, guys. Just a minute. Okay. Now, what does the next question says? It says, the stream function of an unsteady two-dimensional flow field. So guys, I hope you remember, I have told you many times, when we are defining a flow by stream function, it does not matter whether the flow is steady, unsteady, uniform, non-uniform, rotational, irrotational, viscous, non-viscous. These things do not matter. Only thing matters is that the flow must be incompressible. So either it should be a liquid without any water hammer. It should be water flow of water without any water hammer. Or it must be the flow of a gas which is at very low Mach numbers, right? So flow has to be incompressible. Then only you can define this term. Then only you can define the flow by stream function. So it says there is some sort of unsteady two-dimensional flow field and it is defined by a stream function. So if it is defined by a stream function, definitely the flow is going to be incompressible. Definitely the flow is going to be incompressible, right? Correct, na? Okay. Now, what they are asking is, predict the linear strain rates, predict the shear strain rates, predict the vorticity, and predict the velocity potential function at point 2, 3 when the time is 2 seconds. So they are asking you the linear strain rate, shear strain rate, vorticity, the value of velocity potential function at 2, 3 when the time is 2 seconds. These things they are asking you, right? So everyone knows yaar ki bhaiya, when we talk of linear strain rate at any point, that is epsilon dot x, let me not use the this notation because it is not required in our syllabus. So epsilon dot x is equal to del u by del x. So from the stream function, I can find out u. How you can find out u? You can simply say del psi by del y is equal to u. So from stream function, I can find out u. Then I will put over here and I will get epsilon dot x. But bhaiya, directly write like this na. Del by del x of del by del x of del by del y of psi. Directly write like this. So what do you have? You can put the formula of epsilon dot x directly in terms of psi. Directly in terms of psi, right? Why to increase the time of solving the question, even if it is taking 10 or 15 seconds more? है ना? देखो मैं हमेशा कहता हूं कि कॉन्सेप्ट्स में टाइम लगे कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है ना? बट अगर आप कहीं से भी 10-15 सेकेंड सेव कर सकते हैं बाय हैविंग बेटर कॉन्सेप्ट्स, तो आप उसको यूटिलाइज कीजिए. So epsilon dot x can always be written as del square psi by del x del y, है ना? So what we have to do? We have to first partially derivate psi with respect to y, and then we will partially derivate with respect to x. So let me quickly partial derivate psi with respect to y. Now how much is psi given to us? Actually psi is given to us as 4xt by y square. Bhaiya, this is unsteady state flow. So definitely the velocity component, stream function or other properties are going to be a function of time. So del psi by del y. So we are doing partial derivative with respect to y. So x and time will be treated as constant. So during our derivation, this is nothing but a constant. So what is the derivative of 1 by y square? That is minus 2 by y cube. So this will become minus 8xt by y cube, right? Now we have to do a partial derivative with respect to x. So when you will do partial derivative with respect to x, y and time will be treated as constant. So the derivative is minus 8t by y cube. So this is the formula for rate of linear strain, right? Now guys, you know what? Obviously, in a similar manner, you can find out epsilon dot y. And what you will say? That epsilon dot y is equal to del v by del y. And therefore, it is equal to del by del y of v, which is minus del psi by del x. So this will become minus del square psi by del y del x. है ना? But please note, this thing and this thing, they are same only. Therefore, epsilon dot y is nothing but negative of epsilon dot x. And definitely it should happen like this also, because this is an incompressible flow. If it is an incompressible flow, the rate of volumetric strain at any point must be 0. Therefore, epsilon dot x plus epsilon dot y must be 0. So epsilon dot y has to be negative of epsilon dot x. So why to do this additional calculation? Why to do this additional calculation? Bhaiya, directly write down. Directly say कि bhaiya, epsilon dot y is the negative of epsilon dot x. That will be 8t by y cube, right? Now, what are they asking you? They are asking you predict the values at 2,3 when the time is 2 seconds. So we have got epsilon dot x is equal to 8t by y cube and minus है ना, and epsilon dot y is equal to 8t by y cube. Now we want these values at 2,3 when the time is equal to 2 seconds. So x value is equal to 2, the x coordinate of the point is 2 and the y coordinate of the point is 3 and the time value is 2 seconds. So for these conditions, if I find out epsilon dot x, so I will get minus 8 into time, which is 2 divided by 3 cube. So this will become minus 16 by 27. And if I write epsilon dot y, it will be the negative of this term. That is, it will become positive. So 16 by 27. So at this particular point, for this particular time, the particle on the point has these rate of strains. So obviously epsilon dot x is negative. So the x length of the body is decreasing with the time and epsilon dot y is positive. So y length of the body of the particle is increasing with time, right? So we have found out the linear strain rates. Now they are asking you the shear strain rates also. So let us write down the shear strain rate gamma dot xy. By the way, I hope you remember epsilon dot z is 0 because there is no w component of velocity. Please note, in our syllabus, we have stream function only for planar flow and not for spatial flow. So this definition that you write down, del psi by del x equal to u or del psi by del y equal to minus v, this is for planar flow. This is called as Lagrangian definition of stream function. Similarly, for spatial flow, there is another definition of psi. That is called as Stokes definition. It is not in our syllabus. Okay. So we will not talk about spatial flow when we are solving stream function or velocity potential function. Now please note gamma dot xy. So gamma dot xy is written as del v by del x plus del u by del y. Right. Many times students ask me, sir, half and minus. I always tell this is the correct formula. In many books it is wrong, but if you will check the latest edition of Senjal also, they have rectified their mistake. So in previous editions, wrong formula was given. Half was written over here, but now they have rectified their mistake and they have written the correct formulas. Okay. Now gamma dot xy is equal to del v by del x plus del u by del y. So I hope you remember. So v is written as minus del psi by del x. So this will become minus del square psi by del x square. And u is written as del psi by del y. So this will become del square psi by del y square. So this is how you express rate of shear strain in terms of psi. Please note, this is not becoming Laplace function because here we have a minus. For Laplace, both the terms should be minus or both the terms should be positive, right? So this is not a Laplace formulation. Now what we have, so del square psi by del x square, please check, psi is equal to 4xt by y square. So if I will do one derivation, del psi by del x, it will be 4t by y square because y and time will be treated as constant. If I will derivate again, there is no x. So this derivation will become 0. So minus del square psi by del x square is nothing but 0. Del v by del x is nothing but 0. But if you will do del square psi by del y square, please check. So let me check. Del psi, so I will do here. The rough work I will do here. Okay. So I think psi is equal to 4xt by y square. So if I do one derivation with respect to y, it will become minus 8xt by y cube. And if I will do again derivation del square psi by del y square, this will become 24xt by y raised to power 4. So the other term, that is del u by del y, is non-zero. It is 24xt by y raised to power 4. So this is the final expression of gamma dot xy, 24xt by y raised to power 4. Now this gamma dot xy, we have to predict at the point 2, 3 when the time is equal to 2 seconds. So this will become 24 into 2 into 2 divided by 3 raised to power 4, right? So I think 24 into 2, that is 48. 48 into 2, that is 96. And this will become 96 by 81, right? So this is the rate of shear strain at the point when the time is 2 seconds. Now for the same question, let us predict the vorticity also. So let me predict the vorticity also. So obviously I hope you remember. So since we are talking of only 2D planar flow, we are defining stream function for 2D planar flow. So W component of velocity will not be there. And secondly, U and V, they are not a function of Z. So when U and V are not a function of Z and W is 0 in the entire flow, ohm x and ohm y, they are directly 0. So no need to check them. There will be only one vorticity in the flow, that is ohm z. Now how do you write ohm z? So ohm z is written as del v by del x minus del u by del y. And if you want to write down the angular velocity term, that will be a half of this. Now ohm z. So just now previously we saw what is del v by del x. So del v by del x is nothing but del minus del square psi by del x square. And what is del u by del y? It is del square psi by del y square. So this will become minus del square psi by del x square and minus del square psi by del y square, and obviously you can take a negative sign common and you will have del square psi by del x square plus del square psi by del y square. Now this is a Laplace formulation, right? So obviously if the flow is irrotational, this will be 0, then this will also be 0, and you will say psi is satisfying the Laplace equation, correct? Hai? If ohm z is 0, flow is irrotational. So left hand side is 0, so right hand side will also be 0. But right hand side 0 means you are getting a Laplace equation. So psi is satisfying the Laplace equation. But in this particular case, just now we saw that ohm z. So how much is ohm z? It is minus del square psi by del x square. But del square psi by del x square is 0. And there is a plus del square psi by del y square. How much is del square psi by del y square? It is 24 xt by y raised to power 4. है ना? So I think what you are getting is you are getting minus 24 xt by y raised to power 4. So ohm z at a random point x comma y is a non-zero term. So this flow is irrotational. What kind of flow is there? Irrotational flow is there, right? Please guys, please do remember, rotationality has nothing to do with stream function. Incompressibility is important for stream function. So if the flow is incompressible, you can define the flow by stream function. Now this particular flow which we are defining by stream function, this can be rotational as well as irrotational. If the flow is irrotational, vorticity will be 0 and psi will satisfy Laplace equation. But if this flow is rotational, vorticity will be non-zero, like in this case. Sorry. This is not irrotational, this is rotational. Not irrotational, rotational, right? This is not irrotational, it is rotational flow, because ohm z is non-zero. Now we have to find out this vorticity at a particular point. What is the point? 2, 3, and what is the time? 2 seconds. So you will say minus 24 xt. How much is x equal to? X is equal to 2. How much is time equal to? 2. How much is y equal to? 3. So you are getting minus 96 by 81. This is what you are getting, right? So this is a rotational flow with vorticity minus 96 by 81 at point 2, 3 when the time is 2 seconds. Now since vorticity is a function of coordinates of the point, so different points will have different vorticity, and also vorticity is a function of time. So at a point, vorticity will change with the time. So this is what we are getting. Now the last part of the question was find out the velocity potential function at the same point for the same time. Find out the value of velocity potential function at the same point for the same time. Now guys, I hope you remember a flow can be defined. A flow can be defined when the flow is irrotational. Is this flow irrotational? No, this is a rotational flow. So if this is a rotational flow, you cannot define the velocity potential function. So you cannot find out the value of phi in this case, right? So anyways, I hope the question is clear to you. So these are the kind of questions that you will get from stream function. In the next video, we will go through velocity potential function, and then day after tomorrow, we will start like this only, 40 minutes, 50 minutes, 1 hour daily on fluid dynamics. Okay? So thank you and see you in the next video. Thank you so much.